large-sized businesses, and all of them right now are limited in their capacity to hire right now. They can't find enough help and work. They can't find enough talented people to occupy the jobs that they have. And we're a rapidly growing and thriving economy here in this area. But we're limited. And what was frustrating is that they felt like that their Congress wasn't hearing the fact that they absolutely couldn't fill jobs that they very much wanted to fill to help our economy grow and to help our community thrive. So when you care about these kinds of things and you're running for Congress, it's kind of depressing. And it can be kind of disheartening. And not only that, but running for Congress can be kind of isolating, honestly. And there were really genuinely times when I felt like that this was an impossible effort over nearly 640-something days. But what's important that you guys hear from me is that something started to happen, which was really remarkable. And I felt like I was in It's a Wonderful Life, which is Bart's favorite movie. The more that we tried, our team reached out, the more that you started to show up and volunteer. You know, that you answered the call. You knew how important it was to be part of the solution. So you started making calls, knocking on doors, and inviting me and all of our team into your home in very small settings, intimate settings, to talk about what you cared about. And every single one of you brought along your past experiences and your hopes and dreams for our nation, and you shared all of those with all of us, and you answered your call to serve, just like I'm answering mine. And many of you, in fact, I know a lot of you here, never have been involved in politics the way that I have not really ever been involved in politics. But we joined each other in a race to carry ourselves forward and to bring that positive message forward on behalf of all of us. And this is something that I have never seen in my community. And I've been here for only 25 years, but I have never seen the kind of energy that we have right now in our community. Can provide. So hopefully this is factually accurate because we value truth. The 6th congressional district, which moves quite frequently, has never been represented by an Air Force veteran. Has never been represented by a systems engineer or a chemistry teacher or a literacy nonprofit leader. And this is the big one. Or a woman. Largely by career politicians representing us in Congress. So this is a remarkable change, and I haven't been watching many of the results, but I'm hoping it's a sea change across not just our district, but the state and also the country as a whole. Mm-hmm. And so that changed tonight. All of those things changed tonight, and it changed because you guys changed it. And I just got to be the person who got to help change that, and I'm very grateful for you, because tens of thousands of you gave your time. Hundreds of thousands of you gave your vote, your passion, your hard-earned money, and your ideas to our campaign. So what I want to say tonight is that this victory is not mine, but it is ours. It is yours, and I'm very, very grateful for the effort that you have given to our community and to our Commonwealth and to our country. So please give yourselves an applause. Our politics and our government have been turned upside down. And together, I hope that we're going to turn our country right side up again.
All right.
So many of you have also seen a TV commercial that I did where I was running what I consider to be the race of my life, a race of service. And so I hope that you've seen a couple of themes in our campaign about trying to get our world back right side up, about trying to run your race and to run your life the way that you would like to run your life and to have our nation run it the same way. And what I would like to be able to tell all of us tonight, and I will end shortly, is that this is the end of our race. You know, when I was just starting in this process, I was turning 50 with my cute husband, and we were running a race in every state. That was our goal. And we stopped that after about 23 races to run a different kind of race. And here we're running for Congress. And what's important is that this is not the end of our journey. And sadly, as much as I'd like to say we've just crossed the finish line, we have only just begun this fight. And we have a lot of work to do now.
Yes, that's right.
In the years that we've been running this race, here's where our country has gone. 3 million fewer Americans have health insurance today than they did when we began this fight. More than 60,000 Americans since we began this fight have died under gun violence in the current Congress and in our current administration. And more than 120,000 Americans have died of an overdose, which is now the leading cause of death amongst people who are under 50 years old. And finally, sadly, 1 in 5 children still lives in poverty in our great nation, and so many go hungry, don't have the opportunity to finish school, and they drop out. So, as much as I'd like to not be Debbie Downer, this is important. There is so much work for us to do, so much more than just one of us can manage, so much more than just one day and one election can manage. And tonight, we need to make sure that we understand that there's a lot of work in front of us, but we also need to make sure that we're celebrating each other. And that's why it was so important for us to bring all of us together. Chester and Berks County have never had an opportunity like this to celebrate, and we need to make sure that we take the time to enjoy ourselves and to relax, to hug each other, to say thank you to one another, to tell each other a story about what happened over the last 2 years, and to make sure that we have the opportunity to regroup and reset and restore one another. I hope, and more than enough wine, I hope, and more than enough awesome catering, I hope. And once you've had a time to celebrate with one another, I would like to have you take some time, maybe tomorrow and maybe over the next week, to think about why it was that you did put your life on hold for the last couple of years, and what you do stand for, and why you were standing here, so that we can continue, maybe early next week, to put our shoes back on and get ready for the next race, because it's really that important as we head into that. And this is what I want to leave you with, what we are fighting for, and this is something that hopefully if you've seen me talk, you've heard me say, it gets to the point where it's sort of on muscle memory for me, the things that we are fighting for. We are fighting for quality and affordable, accessible health care for everyone in our country. We are fighting for a living wage, equal pay for equal work, terrific jobs for everyone, We are fighting for the great education that everyone is owed and due in our great nation. Regardless of the zip code that we live in, regardless of the parents that we're born into. And lastly, we're fighting for a safe planet, safe communities, safe schools, because we're owed that. We owe each other that. And the last thing that I want to make sure that you leave this conversation with is that we're fighting for decency. In our conversations with one another, and that we're finding each other in the middle, because it's really that important. We have to heal our country.
Yes, we do.
And so I guess what I would say is I was going to ask people to join me on the stage when it was going to be a smaller group. So that's not going to work for me. And so I want to acknowledge my amazing family who are